Okay folks, what we have here is a 10 by 20 cabin or house. This is 10 feet wide. This is 20 feet long. As you can see, I placed some windows and doors in here just to give you perspective. These windows and doors can be placed anywhere you want. That's optional. Also, the color is optional. The roof style and the materials used is optional. I just give you some examples here so you can see what the house would look like. As you can see, it is built on a cement block foundation. It could also be placed on a cement pad, or you could use deck block or piers to build this. Now this is 10 feet wide. You can see that it is 8-foot sidewalls, 3 foot to the peak. This is using a traditional roof. The back side, you can see I placed one window to show where I would put the kitchen. The far end, no windows. Now I put a metal roof on this, but you could use a tar paper and shingle roof as well. I would suggest a metal roof if you plan on harvesting rainwater. Now 10 by 20 is a good size for a small family, a single person or a couple. It has lots of room inside, which I will show you in my other video, all the inside features. But what I first want to do is show you the outside features. And I really like the 10 by 20 because it's so adaptable. You can start with a unit this size, and then you can do a lot of different things to give yourself more room. Now I figured out the material costs on one for this size. Just the 10 by 20 basic unit would be somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 depending on the type of materials you use. If you want high quality materials, you're probably about $4,000. You can build it yourself and use rough sawn materials and stuff like that. Maybe do some recycled materials for doors and windows and save yourself a lot of money. But somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 for a basic house unit 10 by 20. Now this is very adaptable, as I'm going to show you here. I'm going to change this by changing the roof style. I'm going to change this roof to a different style, to a barn style roof, and show you how that can be used for a loft. Okay, now here is the same 10 by 20 house, but this has a barn style roof, or called a gable roof, instead of the traditional roof. This has 4 foot to the peak, and I left off 1/2 of the barn style roof so I could show you the interior loft area. Now this has a lot more room than the traditional roof, and it can be used for a loft area, which would be great. There's enough room on both sides here to put 2 full-size beds plus storage space in the middle, and that would be good for kids space when you have kids come over, or if you have small children that you need a sleeping space for. This loft area could be used for them for bed space, or it could be used to store all the stuff that you don't want down in your main living room. Since you don't have a lot of room in this 10 by 20 main house, you may want to be able to store some stuff. So by putting on the barn style roof and the loft floor, that gives you all kinds of storage space you can put up here that you could access with just a simple ladder when you want to get your stuff down that you don't want down in your main house. This would not add that much more to the expense of the 10 by 20, possibly another $500 to build on the barn style roof over the traditional roof. So you have an option there of a 10 by 20 with either the traditional roof and no loft, just attic space, or an open ceiling, or you could do the barn style roof such as this one and give yourself a lot more room for storage on the inside. Now that's one option. Now I'm going to show you what this will look like if you decide you want to expand and build on additions using a different style roof. Okay, now we've got the same 10 by 20 cabin, but I've put a shed roof on this instead of the traditional roof or the barn style roof. This has a shed roof, 3 feet to the peak, and is designed so that you can later on build on additions. So this is still the 10 by 20 cabin, and let's say that you're a single person or a couple, and eventually you decide you want to have kids, or you just want to expand your area, have more room to the house. Build the 10 by 20 this way, and this gives you this entire side over here now to build on another 10 by 20 just like this, and that will double the size of your space to 20 by 20. Now I'll show you what that looks like with the addition on it. Okay, now what I've done is I've built on an addition, which is just the same size room. It's a 10 by 20 with the shed style roof. They match up in the middle. So now what you have is a 20 foot wide by 20 foot long house. This gives you 400 square feet, where the 10 by 20 gives you 200 square feet. The nice thing about this is you don't have to do it all at once. You can build just the 10 by 20 first, and then when you need more room, you can add on the addition for another 10 by 20. Now this is a very nice size house. 400 square feet gives you lots of room, as I'll show you on the inside. And there's a lot you can also do to the outside to make it look more nice, and also to add additional outside living space. And that's important with a house, is because with a house this size, you're probably going to want more room for guests and company when they come over, but that doesn't mean that you have to have a lot more inside space. You can expand that with a deck to add more outside space. It adds to the value of the house and also adds to the looks of the house, but it adds a lot more space to the house. So now I'm going to add a deck to the front of this house. Okay, now I've added a deck to either the front or the back of the house, and as you can see, this greatly expands the living area with an outside living space. And you can see it also makes this 20 by 20, or you could add this deck to the 10 by 20 with any size roof, and this adds an outdoor living space, a nice deck, and as you can see, I've got a nice dining area, an outdoor dining area here, got your barbecue on the deck, and this gives you, in this design, this gives you a 10 by 20 base unit, the addition if you want it, and it gives you another approximately 10 by 20 foot deck. And that gives you a space for your guests, your company when they come over. You can sit out here, have a meal, have your coffee, enjoy the sunrise or whatever. And it doesn't add that much to the house expense. It doesn't have to be built right away. You can build this on later after you've built your basic units. Then you can build on your additions, then you can build on your deck, and you can do that as you have the money. Now, as you can see, this looks very nice. A very nice, comfortable little 20 by 20 house with a nice deck on the front. But we're not finished there. This house has a lot more adaptations that can be done to it. I'm going to show you the inside now. Please go to part 2 of this video for the inside of this house.